And if you can use a reverse pivot, meaning you're following your behind around on your pivot,
So we've been an organization that's performed in the past almost any service. And given the need, we turned more specifically to schools. And now what we're seeing in certain communities is our need to really specifically focus on the dropout crisis. That's what folks are really looking for. In the past, we've just been a really nice organization, and we really want to strive to be necessary and to focus much more specific to make our impact known. To make these changes, it's going to be a little scary though too, because we're going to have to change potentially how we're funded, the organizational makeup. We're going to have to potentially change the makeup of our core members and our employees. And most importantly, we might even have to cut successful programs. My long-term concern is that we've just been a nice organization, and we really need to strive to be a necessary organization.
So as a core member at City Year, I'm really interested in what's happening at the organizational level, and I want to know more about what's happening because I have really enjoyed my experience as a core member at both schools and other organizations like hospitals, and I've done park cleanup, but I really liked what I was doing at schools, but I just want to make sure that City Year is going to stay committed to service and not get sidetracked by other things.
Get this right? All right, excellent. So from the school perspective, we are super excited that City Year is finally narrowing their focus to tackle the dropout rate. This is completely up our alley. We can't wait to start working with them and getting there. Now they're going to be less nice to have and more completely necessary, that they can help us with tackling this problem across the U.S.
I have been with City Year since it started over 2 decades ago. I'm a board member, and I think that cutting programs and pulling out of schools is not the way to go. I think that expansion has always been part of the founder's plan, and I think that we're doing a disservice by even talking about cutting things. As far as Servathon goes, we were trailblazers. We were the first ones to come up with that. It's been very successful, and quite frankly, the members, everyone who works here, has gotten to get used to that and have grown to love that program. So I really don't want to see that get cut.
All right. So team, as we know, we're at a really key inflection point here. And like our culture's really taught us, when we make any big decisions, we're going to need maximum input. And then as hard as that decision is that we're going to have to make, we're going to need maximum unity after that. So Jason, from the school's perspective, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts too, but Jason, why don't you start?
Yeah, from the school's perspective, we're all on board for narrowing the focus and getting, canceling out the dropout rate, just completely eliminating it. We're all about it. You know, so far, City Year has been a nice to have, but it just hasn't been necessary in a lot of stuff that we've been doing. So, you know, once you narrow the focus and kind of rechange that, we're all about it. We're completely on board with you guys.
Okay. And Kelsey, I know you represent kind of the core members and the people really on the ground. You know, what do you have to say?
I mean, I'm really excited about the idea of working in schools. As a core member, I've worked in schools before, and I loved working with the students. I think it's great. But I also really liked working at the hospitals, and I really liked doing the Servathon, and I think there's a lot of things that we do that are really important, and I don't want to not do those things just because we're focusing on schools. I want to make sure that what we're choosing is the right thing, and that I'll still be important to the organization as a core member if we're focusing on the students in schools instead.
Okay. And Elizabeth, from board members' perspective, you know, I'd be interested, you've been a tenured person here, what are your thoughts?
As a board member, I'm not on board. This organization is like family to me. I love the culture here. I love that we stay humble in everything that we do. But unfortunately, I think that cutting Servathon is doing disservice to our mission. I think that through Servathon, we get so much funding to be able to help with the dropout crisis, I feel like would be crazy to leave it, and I can't stay in this organization if that's what we decide to do.
You know, Elizabeth, I really appreciate your input, and I'm afraid that given kind of the general feel of the rest of the board members, that, you know, the unity of moving forward and focusing where we need to be with the school dropout crisis is really where we need to be for you.
Well, like I said, I think I'm gonna need to leave, so I wish you all the best and good luck with everything. I'm out.
Stay home.
Okay. So in the spirit of maximum input, then maximum unity after a tough decision, I think this is the course we're going to have to do, and we're going to have to be okay with saying goodbye to Elizabeth for now. It's not going to be forever, I'm sure, but we need to really focus kind of the mission of what we're trying to accomplish with this dropout crisis.
All right,
You with me?
we're ready.
Lord,
We together?
we are.